At the Madlanga Commission today, the Major General Hendrik explained exactly how tons of drugs get to South Africa and how some are manufactured in South Africa. I want you to listen to his testimony and let us know what you think about this information that he revealed.
Proceed, General.
Thank you. On 30 July 2021, a ton of cocaine, it was in total 999 kilogram bricks, commissioners, was seized in Durban at the LCS Freight Logistics Depot. The drugs were found at the back of a Scania shipping container containing truck parts. The container's port of origin was the port of Santos in Brazil. Scania was not aware of the cocaine in the container. The drugs were seized and taken to the Maiden Wharf police station. Prior to the DPCI arriving at the depot, members from border policing visited the company and placed a detention order on the container.
At this stage, show photo 1. So if you can just describe that photo, General.
The photo depicts containers, commissioners, that's offloaded from vessels that docked in the harbor.
And then photo 2.
Commissioners, that is a photo that depicts the consignment of cocaine, or by then suspected cocaine, that was found in the back of the shipping container immediately upon opening the doors.
Before you proceed, you want to ask a question on this? General, can you just explain the role of border policing in exercises such as this? Here you say border policing arrived or got there before the DPCI. Would they have gotten there because of a tip-off, or is this just part of the normal protocols that they...
Commissioner, in this specific case, they also received information about the possible narcotics that was hidden in that container, and that is why they arranged for that detention order to be placed on it. So it was just a time lapse, a short time lapse. So obviously their primary responsibility is within the harbor precinct, and then to perform duties within their mandate as border policing.
And in performing, in the normal course of performing that mandate, would they do the kind of inspection that you say, for example, customs randomly does on shipments? I'm just trying to understand practically what, on a day-to-day basis, do they have a role either by protocol or just practice that they could be part of the chain of discovering illegal narcotics, for example?
Commissioner, I do not have detailed knowledge about the roles and responsibilities within that precinct, but it's my experience that whenever there is a search and seizure operation, they are part of the operation by virtue of the fact that they are placed in the harbor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Good morning, General.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Can I just get clarity on paragraph 25 of your statement? You say here on 30 July 2021, 100 kilograms of cocaine were seized in Durban.
It's 1,000.
1,000 kilograms were seized in Durban. Now, are these the same drugs that were later stolen at Port Shepstone in November?
No, Commissioner,
This is completely
it is not the same drugs.
So I just needed that clarity.
No, it's a
so that we know.
different seizure,
It's
Commissioner.
a different seizure, but happening more or less around the same time.
That's correct, Commissioner. The cocaine that was stolen was seized on the 22nd of June,
Yes.
2021.
All right. So this is not the same one?
It's not the same.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, General. Then if I could ask to just show photograph 3. Oh,
Commissioner, the photo that's depicted there is of the blocks of cocaine with the logo W or M, depending on how you look at it, that was recovered from one of the bags after the wrapping of that bag was removed.
General, we're going to get to other seizures as well. If you could maybe at this stage just explain to the commissioners the significance of the logos, so that W, or I think it is a W.
Commissioners, there's different logos that's being found on all these seizures. And the explanation for that is that it is the unique mark of certain individuals or a syndicate that's operating within the production space of the cocaine in, for instance, Colombia, that place their fingerprint or their identity to that brick of cocaine, that if there's in future a problem at the final destination, for instance, with the quality, it is clear from where that brick of cocaine is originating.
Because I'm sure they can't have their fingerprints on it and they can't exactly have a note that says, I'm the supplier.
Indeed, Commissioner, and that's why you will also find that there is perhaps multiple suppliers in one consignment that arrives in South Africa. And that's the reason why there will be multiple logos when such consignments are detected and seized.
Thank you, General. If we can go to photograph 4. If you can just describe what we're looking at now.
Commissioners, it's just another photo that depicts towards the bags of containing the cocaine in the back of the container. But I think what's also clear here is that it has handles. And the reason for that handles is to carry it easily. Because when criminals execute a rip-on, rip-off procedure, speed is of essence. You need to remove the exhibits with speed, obviously in the fear of being detected. And that's why it needs to be easy to carry these bags and place it in a vehicle or in a panel van, whatever mode of transport is being used, to then speed away with it undetected.
And then if I could just ask for you them to zoom in on the orange item there. And if you could just explain the significance of that item.
Commissioners, this is, as I've explained, duplicate seals. So it shows you the criminal network is so sophisticated that they even make provision for a duplicate seal to be placed once the narcotics is removed from the container. So once they've removed the cocaine from the container, they just close the doors and seal it with the duplicate seal. And when SARS, Customs, or the port authorities verify the actual seals with the bill of lading and other documentary evidence or documents that they have in their possession, there will be no suspicion that there was any contraband in that container.
Ms. Sigels-Ncube, I see we are not marking these as exhibits, giving them exhibit numbers. You don't consider that necessary?
We
Or-
will do so,
Yes.
Chair, as soon as I'm done with all the photographs, then I'll just get the exhibit number as it is now
All right,
And then I will then place it on the record, Chair.
all right, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, arising from this picture? At your paragraph 22, you don't need to go there, General. You, at the end of that paragraph, you say that paragraph 22 on page 8, you say that the rip-off is normally done at destination. Here again, corrupt officials will break the seal, open the container, and I think that's what this photograph is speaking to. Is it necessarily just the officials who can do this, or is the harbor and that arrangement about which I know nothing, such that even private individuals who are part of this plan or scheme can do?
Indeed, Commissioners, that's why I indicated that corruption takes place within both the public and private space. So when we refer here to officials, it does not necessarily mean that it's government officials. It can also include officials working in the harbour or at the depots where these containers gets opened and unpacked in some instances or forwarded by means of road freight. So it goes for both sides.
Okay, thank you.